have Ian Zang here with Deep Water Games, and he's going to share with us a little bit about Deep Water and about these new products that are coming to Kickstarter. So tell me about Deep Water Games.
So Deep Water Games was just formed earlier this year. The partners are Nolan Nasser, Travis McIntyre, and Jacob Way. I came on as lead developer a little bit ago, like February, I think, was when they officially brought me on.
Okay.
So I'm working on developing games, fixing up the rules a little bit for the stuff that we're bringing in.
Okay.
So primarily, we are trying to make all of the games in Asia come over here, and we're working on getting more partners to bring games to the United States.
So that's the niche, is like these games from overseas that are already sort of made over there and bring them to the U.S.
Yeah, so we're partnering with Emperor S4 was our first very big partner, and we've already brought out Herbalism, Crows Over Kill, Hanzi, and Shadows Over Kyoto, which is the sequel to Hanamakoji. That is something that everyone might know. And our second Kickstarter, which launches Tuesday, so March 27th, by the time this...
Yeah, this will already be launched.
Yep, this will already be launched.
Yeah.
We have 3 great games coming from Emperor S4 again.
Cool.
We have Mystery of the Temple is the main game. So it's a small box game with a big punch, is what I like to call. And we also have Sorcerer in Stones, which is a puzzle-like game. And the last one is Roundhouse, which is a pretty heavy Euro, which I know that I am Deepwater Games, but that was a huge surprise for me. I'm not usually a heavy Euro person, but there's something about that game that just really hit hard with me. What's really cool about Mystery of the Temple, this was one of Emperor S4's great titles, but we did a special thing. Because color blindness is a pretty big deal, we're trying to go for accessibility as best as we can. And we had the opportunity to work with Emperor S4 to actually make this game colorblind friendly for everyone. That's the ideal. So instead of just the normal, I don't think we have the original game, but every temple now has a gem symbol in it in addition to its color. So you can actually see that the gem matches the color so that no matter what you're looking at, you're going to be able to see. The old gems looked like this, and oftentimes the blue and the purple were very hard to see for colorblind folks. So we worked really hard with Emperor S4 to make sure that this would come out with colorblind-friendly components.
Cool.
And we're trying to work as best as we can to make sure that this continues as a pattern. So.
Okay, cool. I got Ian back here. We're going to look at Roundhouse. I'll let you hold the box here. Boom. There it is.
It's from Emperor S4.
Okay.
It's the heavy Euro game that Emperor S4 loves to make. It also includes this wonderful...
Man, those things are huge.
Yeah, it's pretty... These are the thickest cardboard that you'll ever see. But the reason why they need to be so big is because Roundhouse is a traditional Chinese village home, basically. So it's where all of the people of the village would come together to go to market, to trade, to do politicking. So this was a central location in China way back when. And so many families would come together to kind of run a roundhouse. And so you take the role of one of those family members trying to gain influence to become the next leader. So you have family leaders that are going to move around this board in a clockwise fashion, doing actions that are seen on the board.
Sure.
Anytime you see a building, that's a place where you can go. When you move a leader, you can move 1, 2, or 3 spaces. And what's really cool is that there's a top level and a bottom level. So there are actually 2 rondels, which is really, really neat. And you can only move whenever you see a staircase. So you can go down like that, you could come back up.
Okay, so you can only move up and down when you see staircases.
Right. And again, just like a worker placement game, you cannot go where someone else already is. So you go 1, skip, 2, and you could go to 3.
Okay.
So it allows you a little bit of flexibility about where to move and how to perform actions. So as you move around the board, you're going to be doing these actions like recruiting a worker. So on your player board over here, recruiting a worker, it adds a worker to your family and allows you to do more actions. A traveling merchant is my personal favorite. The traveling merchant area, this is where the current shop is. When you take this action, you'll place one of your workers in the town of where this is, and you shift it at the end of your turn to a new location. What's really important is that these 4 towns on either side of on each corner of the roundhouse, you want to have all of your workers in one area, because once you reach all the way around and you get back to the worship area, the temples, you have to come over here and do a worship action. This is the worship board. The worship board allows you to, when you do, let's imagine that you have all these workers in this town.
Sure.
You pick up all of them and you create a line, as a contiguous line in horizontal areas, and orthogonal. That's what it is. And you get to take the points from that last action. You also get a resource, and you get to take another action at the top. And once you do that, you complete the lines, and you turn your villager to become an elder. This also accelerates the end of the game, which I don't know, there, the round marker. So this triggers end game eventually. So depending on number of players, however many people have done this, it will move up, and eventually, if you're playing with 3 players, once you reach the 8th round, the 8th time that this action has been performed, that's the end of the game. It triggers end game, and that's it. So what's, again, my favorite part about this is once you've done it once, you can go back through and reuse that elder again. So you don't need to do it as much, but it's always really good to get all the way down to here.
Cool.
So that's
Roundhouse.
Roundhouse. It's a chunky Euro, but man, it is very good. You're recruiting elders, you're dropping people in chairs to help you out.
Cool.
All sorts of cool stuff.
All right, we will say goodbye. Bye, Ian. All right, stop that.